Welcome, everybody, to the Heart Full of Hallmark podcast. Today, we are going to be reviewing the brand new season of Virgin River. Thank you to Netflix for sending us Season 7 screeners, the whole season to see for free and review early for you guys. Check it out right now on Netflix and let us know what you think. How this is going to work is we're going to go with the good, the bad, and give you our overall thoughts on our favorite episode, what they could have changed in a few moments, and then our overall rating. So I'm going to start this out. I thought this was a very good season. We got a lot of character growth with a lot of characters. I really enjoyed one particular episode, and I will say I enjoyed that rodeo episode a little bit more than anybody else did because I enjoy rodeos. I'm from a small town. We have rodeos right down the street. This was exactly what it's like. We see banged up stars getting on bulls, getting on horses, going around doing whatever they want. It's for the money. It's for the love of the game. That storyline was very well told with our new character being introduced, looking for his sister, needing that money to find his sister. And when we get to everybody betting everything on him to win, that showed that they just made him a member of that town right there. Everybody, Doc was cheering for him. They didn't know him from Adam. Everybody loved him. My main favorite episode, though, was actually the second to last episode. Once we find out that they're going on their honeymoon, where they're going. But that's where I'm going to let Kirsten go off because I know she has a lot to say about that episode. So Kirsten, what did you think about Virgin River and particularly that episode?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to Netflix for giving us this privilege to allowing us to see this season because this is such a massive show on the streaming service. So something that I really loved about the honeymoon episode was we really got to see Mel and Jack get to know each other better because even though they have been together throughout the entire season, have been through a lot together, there was stuff that we got to see that they really didn't know about each other. Like they talked about how many kids they want to have one day and different things that they were just kind of curious about. But I loved the scenery and that it was almost more of it had this happiness to it. You could see the connection throughout it. They got to go to the most beautiful places in Mexico, and I really appreciated when they went on the long adventure and they got lost, but they met that wonderful couple there, and you could kind of see the hope coming back in their eyes that they're going to be able to have everything that they ever dreamed of one day, like a farm, family, and all of those wonderful things that they've been hoping for since before they were married.
Binging this whole series, I mean, I binged this quick because this was a bit of a surprise. I didn't know I was getting this. I was actually on the phone with you when I found out we got this. I'm like, wait a minute, boom. So this is a bit of a tonal shift compared to other seasons.
Yes.
This is a lot of happy. There's a lot of happy moments in many episodes, but of course it's Virgin River. It's a drama. You need romance. You need this love triangle storyline. You need a fight every once in a while. You need some drama with, say, Doc's character having his issues and then maybe what ends up happening later in the season. We'll see how that develops because that was a great storyline, particularly for him and his love interest, his partner. They had a lot going on here, specifically with her old husband. Again, that adds a lot of drama. It adds a lot of serious weight to the scenes, and their performances are supposed to be believable. a lot of these scenes in something like a drama thriller, we see this type of a scene. The ex-husband comes back trying to tear them apart. It's overly dramatic. They did a nice tonal balance here of making it serious but believable, but not overbearing with any of their storylines. And all the storylines interweave tremendously well, and that's due to good screenwriting.
Mm-hmm.
What Virgin River does well is it interweaves 15, 20 characters together. Everybody knows each other. Everybody loves each other. But they do it in a way where most of the time, everybody has their equal amount of screen time. This particular episode is, say, about Brady. This one is about Preacher. This one is about Mel doing this surgery or something like that. This season, it's mostly about their marriage. At the end of last season, we got to see our main couple get married. This is their first, 2-3 weeks of marriage?
Everything happened so quickly.
Everything happened so quickly that they didn't even have time to plan a honeymoon. As we already spoke about, they went to Mexico, beautifully shot, but they also have the baby. We get to find out what's happening. Are they going to be able to be the parents of this baby? What's that decision going to be? What goes into this? Doc's granddaughter having a kid now. That adds a lot of interesting storylines for Mel, interweaving that, thinking, can she actually do this? Because she sees what goes into being a mother, carrying that baby. But this was very different. I enjoyed the happy moments, but the darker moments really add the weight to the show. And what they did with that was perfect for me anyways. Kirsten,
and that's where you can really see like the theme of community come together. And I think that's what Virgin River does so well, is they know their fan base. They know how much we love and appreciate these characters. And something that I really enjoyed since they've done since the beginning has been like seeing the girls come together with like their knitting group, and they always support each other. Like they went to the cancer treatments together to support their friend, and like they supported Hope through all of like the different things that she's been through, and they supported Lizzie now this season and like helped her become a new mom because they knew that she was struggling at the time with shifting with this new change in her life. But everybody always supports each other, and no matter what happens, they know that they're a small town community through and through, and they really just want to keep everything like within their circle, even though we have some of these outside things that are trying to cause change to the town. So we kind of see some things shift with the medical side of it, with Doc having his own family practice, but then also the new hospital as well. And he's nervous that all of this change is going to take away from that small town feel. And they're kind of trying to come up with different ways to still incorporate like their regular traditions, and he doesn't want to lose his patients because he knows all them, and they've all become family throughout these years. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next and how much change there will actually be to Virgin River.
Speaking of change to Virgin River, Jack and Preacher have a bit of a storyline going on with the expansion of the restaurant. At the end of the season, we will go into brief spoilers. We don't know what's happening with this. At the end, we do see Preacher with the agreement. Is he going to sign? Is he not? What I will say about Preacher is we get to know his girlfriend a lot more. We get to see how she actually is. She's a firefighter. She is with Brady a lot. They have a great dynamic. Their chemistry is great. There's just this great scene about midway through the season where they're in this fire. They almost don't make it out, but it's Virgin River. We can't have too many deaths with main characters, but we get to know her a lot more. Just like you said, that knitting group, these old women love her. I mean, they just latch onto her. They love Preacher. but there's just something about her where they just see her as magical. They love her to death. They will protect her. And Preacher, while he doesn't have a lot going on in the latter half of the season, in the earlier half of the season, he does have this pretty interesting storyline where she thinks that he's cheating on her when it just so happens that this woman isn't who she thinks she is. She doesn't really know what's happening. Once we get to that scene, that was pretty funny. I gotta admit, I got a good chuckle out of that. But seeing that character shined upon more and making Preacher a happier guy, seeing how he's actually enjoying everything a lot more and not worrying about the restaurant as much as he used to. He wants to keep this a small town restaurant. He wants to keep it the same while he's understanding that it needs to grow if they want more money, if they want bigger staff, if they want bigger things to happen. We'll just see what happens with that. But what did you think about Preacher's storyline?
So I do love like how much he really cares about the community, and like he wants everybody to like love the food. Like his way of showing love is through the food that he makes at the restaurant, but he wants to expand it to a wider audience. Um but the downside of that is like how much change will there be? Like will it bring in more tourism? Will it still have that same Virgin River feel? Like if they keep expanding and expanding, then it's going to become more of like a destination place instead of a small town. But I'm really hoping that it doesn't affect the friendship between him and Jack, because I really do love the relationship that they have built since the very beginning and everything that they've been together through the war and different things that they've had happen to them. But they've always seemed to really have each other's back, and I can tell that it weighs heavy on Jack's character. But I also feel like he has a sense of knowing that he can't hold on tightly because he does need to have his own opportunity to try something new too.
So there's most of the good. Let's go into a little bit of the bad. This is not a perfect season by any means, and not very many shows are perfect. I'll start this off by saying there's this specific thing that happens with Benjamin Hollingsworth's character Brady at the very end, where my biggest complaint about this season is the cinematography is great. Reactions are on point most of the time. This time, however, something happens to him, and the way it's shot makes zero sense. There's this levity to it. There's this weight levity where you need to feel it, but when you know what he's doing and when you've done it, you know that there's this certain time and place where your reaction and your wits about you know what to do. The way they shot this did not make me feel anything for his character. He did a nice job reacting to it. I mean, he's an actor. Actors are supposed to react and make the scene better. And his reaction felt genuine. However, the way they shot this could have been framed a little bit better. A tighter camera lens could have been used, edited a bit differently, zoomed in a bit more, and not show the full impact of what it was. But
To almost like tease it more, like if they could have like teased it more to lead it up to like the next season and leave it a little bit more open than how it ended.
And I don't think it has as much weight as to what happens at the very end. We're not going to go into what happens fully, but we know that Mel and Jack are married now. They're going through their first few weeks of marriage. They want to have a baby. They've wanted that for a long time. Now they're getting to a place where they can get it. There's something that happens with that storyline where that had more weight than Ben's cliffhanger. It's all about what you lead into the next season with. I'm more into that baby than what's going on with Ben. And we will apologize. We are Hallmark people. His name is Dan Brady, but we just can't help but call him Ben Hollingsworth because of how many people we talk to. But that is my main issue with this, is that, and there's a couple scenes here and there, particularly in episodes 2 and 3, where they were a bit choppily edited episodes. I thought they could have shaved down a little bit of each episode, maybe by a good 2 minutes. A couple of scenes went on a little too long. They didn't give as much story to the character of Dan Brady in this one. It's mostly about him and the same woman that he's been with all this time, going back and forth, back and forth. Will they, won't they? Will they, won't they? Eventually, we know it's going to happen, but it's getting old for me at this point. 7 seasons in, I think it's either you commit or call it quits. It was the same way with me and the fighting in Cobra Kai. If our 2 main guys are still fighting 40 years later, stop it. The adults. You're adults in this show. You know if you love each other. You know if you want to be with each other. Cut the crap. Get on with it. That was my main issue. What were your issues with this season, Kirsten?
Well, I was kind of going to lean into similar things that you said as well. So I know like Brady is beloved in the Virgin River fan base, so it would have been nice to see him have a little bit more time growing his character, because we did get good character growth when they showed the storyline of like the money getting stolen, but then he realized that when he got there that the money wasn't as valuable as Hazel's future. So he really wanted to make sure that she was able to lead a successful life, which was great to see how he's kind of like changed in that way. But we didn't get a whole lot more than like that, and kind of like a couple scenes with him and Bree. So it would have been nice to see him take on some other things as well as we went through the season. So that was kind of my big thing that I noticed.
I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a lot of moments here, particularly in the beginning with him and I can't remember his character's name, but Marco's character in here, where there's this love triangle. They're vying after Bree.
Yes, him and Mike. So they have like the love triangle between Bree, Mike, and Brady that's been kind of lingering for the past few seasons.
And now it seems like we're starting to wrap that up a little bit. And I'm really liking that.
I know. I'm happy for Mike. Like, it's nice to see like a little bit of change, and I'm hoping that things work out with like his character and Sarah Canning's new character, because I feel like it kind of leads that way. And everybody kind of needs like a little bit of a like refresh, and I think some time away from each other might be more beneficial.
And I love how he didn't just completely shut down. A lot of people in shows like this shut down. If they don't get the person they want, they shut down and they become a completely different person, and a light switch just goes off in him. He goes, okay, she doesn't love me the way that I want her to. This was more of, let's test the water, see what happens. And now we officially know who she wants to be with. He now has his new love interest. We'll see next season how that goes. I hope they really focus on that, because that was one thing I wanted more of, because he hasn't had a great life in this show so far. Now he's getting this moment where he might actually get the real love interest. He might actually get a powerful storyline involving a love interest that isn't Bree. Now, before we wrap this up, I'm going to ask you, what was your favorite episode and why?
Okay. So my favorite episode, I think, would have to be the episode where they went to the honeymoon, which I did touch on before, because they've gone through so many things. It was nice to see just them together, because that whole episode was kind of just a focus on them, and some of the other characters then weren't as much focused on, and we could see them grow in their relationship. They finally get the opportunity to like relax and like not have all these different things happening at once, and her dealing with like things at the family practice and him trying to help out with things with the farm, and they could like breathe. And I think that was very needed for them at that time, was they kind of needed to step away a little bit and just know like in their mind and their heart that things will work out, and in some ways they do.
Since that's your favorite episode, I'm going to go with my other favorite episode, which I've touched on, was the rodeo. I was afraid that our new character, Clay, was going to be just thrown in there, a subpar, needless character. Instead, we find out what he has been through, why he was beat up, and we find out that this town, if you're a new viewer, this town is a family. Everybody loves each other one way or another, and when you're new, i.e. Clay, and what is Sarah Canning's new character name, her, she was accepted right away in. Everybody is beloved, and even when you're in distress.
Well, yeah, with Charmaine too.
Yeah.
Like everybody stepped in together to try to help her. Like they were like full force. She's like everybody's family, so they just, no matter what, will always have each other's backs.
But before we go on too long, there's a review of Virgin River. Kirsten, what would you give this on a score out of 10?
Okay, out of 10, I would give this season an 8, because I really liked how there were moments, a lot more happy moments in this season compared to some of the others. They kind of did a good way of weaving in like the lighter and heavier moments together. So I would give it an 8 out of 10, and I am excited for what the future holds with it.
I agree with you. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 as well. This is a very solid season, much better than what I was thought going in, because going in, I'm like, okay, maybe we might hit a bit of a sophomore slump, but 5 years later. A lot of series go in on the sophomore slump in season 2 after we get like this marriage. I thought maybe we won't have as much storyline, as much drama with Mel and Jack. I just wasn't sure. This was a big surprise to me, adding in all the extra Doc storylines and everybody else's storylines. The only thing that brings this down for me is some of the editing choices. A couple of the scenes could have been shaved off. There was some color grading in a couple of the scenes, particularly in the moments where it's Brady and his bike that were a bit dark. And I thought they could have tinted that color up a little bit, lit it a bit better. But when they go for the spicier moments, they know how to light those very well for the fans. I will say that. When you get those spicy moments, they're lit very well, and they're handled with care. They aren't going as far as they possibly could. They keep it to the rating that they went with. This is a series that I think everybody loves. It's going on. We already got renewed at the end of last season for season 8. And season 8 will come out some point next year. But everybody, let us know what you thought of Virgin River season 7 and what you want us to review next. If you want us to talk about another series on Netflix, whether it's already been out, whether it's coming out, we would be happy to talk about anything that they will let us. And Netflix, again, thank you for allowing us to view this early and give our thoughts on this. I know that this show means a lot to her. It's one of her favorite shows. So it was an honor for this to be our first review with you. And we hope to do many, many more. As always, guys, like and subscribe for more. Kirsten, where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Kirst_Hendershot. And I just wanted to add that I think the fans should be so excited for this new season, because you have the romance, the drama, the family aspect. It's all there, and it's everything that I think the fans will want to see.
I fully agree. and you will be ready for next season. You'll be chomping at the bit to see what happens next season. You can find me at Noah_Kaser on Instagram, the Hartford of Hallmark page. And as always, guys, like and subscribe for more, and we'll see all of you guys next time. Keep your heart full of Hallmark.